So grab your headphones, let the journey start. With Suzy's Vegas tales, she's stealing the heart. In the city of dreams, let's laugh and play. Suzy's Las Vegas podcast, come join the sway.
Well, we're back. We've gotten through Mother's Day, and I've got Dangle and Dot with me here today, and I figured it would be appropriate to have them both here because we've got a lot of important things to cover. And I want to thank you, audience, for letting me know that you really enjoyed my show and how many views I've had, and the girls are really happy. And there is no wrong question is what I want to talk about today. So we're going to talk a little bit more about our Alzheimer's project, and we've got a lot of more parts with this. So welcome, ladies. Let's get on it.
Hi. We're glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm so glad to have you guys.
Wonderful to be back.
Yes, absolutely. Happy Mother's Day to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And, you know, I got to tell you what resonated with me the last time when you were on the show. Mm-hmm. Most people, when they hear Alzheimer's or dementia, the family, everybody thinks it's a death sentence. And they don't want to say it, but they're, what am I going to do and how am I going to handle it? But you have given us so much hope.
Thank you.
And 2013
Right.
is when you first
got the news.
Okay. So walk us through this, please,
Okay.
because I know everybody wants to hear this, because this is 2026. So remember, everybody, 13 years later, here she is. She looks beautiful. She can talk. She's a happy girl. Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yes, it is.
And I say that with being very humble because, you know, it goes differently for everyone. There is no two people that handle this or that can handle it.
No.
And end up with all the same.
Yeah.
Right? And so I just feel, I'm not really sure why it has turned out to be
God
so
loves
good.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
And you're so beautiful.
Well, thank you for that. I think my red glasses help. What do
All
you
of
think?
it. All of it. See, we're a fashion statement today, aren't we?
So, yes, in 2013, I went to my daughter. I went to first a primary care and then a neurologist, both giving me the, you got it. And I thought, gosh, that's not good enough. And so I then set out to find another doctor, and I found an Ayurvedic practitioner.
One more time. Ayurvedic?
Ayurvedic.
How do you spell it?
I don't know.
Okay. But it's Ayurvedic.
Yeah,
practitioner.
it's a
okay.
Yeah, like more of a natural
Okay.
doctor.
An alternative.
Energy,
Alternative.
Like yeah,
Well, I love it.
doctor.
Alternative. If this is
Alternative.
what happens, yay!
I was looking for anybody to just say, you know, nah.
Yeah.
Right. And I knew something was up because I was doing crazy things, you know.
Like what?
Like missing appointments, and people were saying, "Where are you? Are you coming?" And my gut would wrench, and I've done it again. And missed telephone calls, and, you know, I couldn't connect streets together. I would have to pull the car over. Not that I can't drive. It was just simply that I didn't know where I was going after I got going.
Okay. I get it.
And so I would pull my car over. And one of the things that I learned to do, I did not know in the beginning, because anxiety gets in the way, right? You just think, oh, I can't do this. You got to back away, take a deep breath.
Relax.
Relax.
Calm down.
Right. It doesn't matter. You're
That
already
makes
late.
sense.
It absolutely does.
I'm already late.
Yeah.
Right? And so...
It's protect yourself.
Yes. Yeah. And then I would go up here and say, help me. How do I get to where I need to go? And luckily, one way or another, either terribly, terribly late, or I have to call and say, you know, I'm so late. I got lost. Mm-hmm. That's the hardest thing, is to admit that you make mistakes, you forget, because they don't understand that most. It's so much better people are more aware today than they were even 13 years ago.
Well, sure.
And my dad passed in 2002. So, right, we're making inroads every day.
Absolutely.
Every day. So it was just one little thing after another, and I knew I needed to go. And as we were opening to the second neurologist, Jennifer said, "Mom, do you have to do this?"
She asked you that.
And I said, she said, "You're 70 years old." I said, and
I'm 70 now. Thank you. That's why we're having this conversation, folks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I laughed and she laughed.
Sure.
I opened the door, we go and sit. And then that leads me to my story, which says every time we went to this neurologist, we sat for hours waiting to get in.
Or on pins and needles, right?
That's
terrible.
Why do doctors do that?
I don't know.
No.
But it's so disconcerting.
Well,
isn't
it's such disrespect
It-
when
yeah, they
also
disrespect
you don't have
you,
any
yes.
respect anymore because
No.
everything's flying out the window, right?
Yeah, you're right.
You're right. So anyway, so that's how it started. And I always took somebody with me because 4 years are much better than 2. And
That's true.
Good advice.
yeah,
Very good.
yes, because
So
you don't
remember,
sometimes
take
hear
somebody with you.
right. You don't, it's okay. It is really okay. I know it's embarrassing. I know that pride is in the way. I know these things. I felt them, right? And I just had to work through that. And you can do it. I've learned really to laugh at myself very well. Do I not laugh at myself
she's
very
an
well?
expert.
I'm an expert.
Yes.
So
I'm
it
so
does
proud of
change
you. Honest to God,
And
I am
as-
so proud of
Well,
you.
thank you. Thank you. I mean, and if I can do it, because I'm very normal.
Yeah.
Right? If I can do it, I think everyone can. I think they don't know they can. And doctors certainly don't tell you you
No,
can.
No.
And
So did you hear that? If she can do it, you can do it.
Yes,
And
really.
society has painted such a bleak
Well, sure they have.
narrative of what this disease is going to look
Right.
like.
And it
right?
doesn't always look pretty.
No,
No,
it
it's
doesn't.
some rough stuff.
The rough
definitely.
stuff. And it depending, and there's just no way to say who's going to be able to go 13 years and be as good as I am,
Yeah.
and who can't. And who's going to have a different variety, right?
Well, you told me something that really blew me away. How many different?
Over 100.
Over
Well,
100.
and maybe even 200. I went back and looked at my number, like 215 different types of dementias from all related causes. So it's a very uncertain playing ground to begin with.
Sure.
Right? And
215 different.
yeah, so, it's a process to find out really what may be going on.
And takes
that-
years,
And
really.
could take a long time.
Well, sure.
And what happened to Nancy, which is very common, you get one diagnosis and you might get a second different diagnosis, and you might even get a third or fourth as time goes on,
Okay.
which,
It's disconcerting. I was more aggravated at the second diagnosis, which was mild MCI, mild cognitive impairment.
I love that. Nancy, I am so proud of you. MCI, mild cognitive impairment. Okay. All right. I mean, this whole topic is just so amazing because people are afraid to talk about it.
They are. Well, they don't want to admit that
No.
they have it.
and
No.
yes, the fear.
The fear is
The
everything.
fear, though, is
And then
what
people hide,
Or they're
'cause they-
hiding, and then they wait way too far down.
Exactly.
You could do so much more earlier on, as you became a lot of diseases.
Sure.
And preparing and planning and having those tougher conversations. None of it is simple or
No,
easy.
no.
Yes,
Not at all. No.
but I think working in the field, I've seen too many families wait
Too long.
very long. You have difficulty getting the appointment. You might have behavioral things starting to happen that's impacting the caretakers, lives also.
Of course, because everybody around you is involved in
Well,
it.
so
sure,
it's
they
a
have-
family affair, right?
Exactly,
It's going
family
to be
and
whether
friends.
you want it to be
or not.
Did you hear that? It's a family affair,
It's a
whether you
family
want it to be
affair.
or not.
And some don't want to participate.
That's true.
And some
a lot
don't.
of people don't, and they don't.
And they don't. Or some want to and think that they're helping by saying, "Oh well, we're going to just wait. You're going to be better," or we'll
And
just wait.
that's not the right answer.
Well, I don't believe it is, because it isn't
No.
what I did, and it happens that 13 years have passed. Now, am I just a lucky one? Maybe, right? I don't have all the answers. I'm going by the seat of my pants every day.
But you're doing good. You're doing
yes.
great. Honest to God, you gave me so much hope when I talked to both of you. You really did. And then you think about, like we talked, my dad he got the dementia and the Alzheimer's from when he worked at the paper mill, and he was working with the chemicals. And my husband Steve's father worked with chemicals, but he had a men's clothing store, and they used the dry cleaning chemicals and all that. But there's how many? 250?
15 at least, maybe. The number keeps changing, and when I look, that we're able to discern.
Yeah. But you didn't just take what they said. You kept going.
Yeah, maybe I'm just stubborn.
Oh, I love it.
I'm not sure.
I love it. I would be stubborn
A
too.
little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
She might
And in
say.
your background, you worked with the Cleveland Clinic. Do you
Clinic.
still do?
Yes, I'm a consultant for
Okay.
them now.
Well, I have another friend of mine that just, I'm so sorry to tell you, he passed away. But he had gone down to the Cleveland Clinic, and his wife, they were only married for a few years. He was my husband Steve's best friend. They got into the Cleveland Clinic, and Steve was looking at everything, and he saw where, they all say how nice they are, but they don't have a cure or whatever. And it's like, but in all fairness, I mean, there are so many different things that it could be. But Tom, I miss him every day.
Yeah.
And he couldn't remember how to, like you said, pull over to the side. He couldn't remember how to get home. And then he was driving through a parking lot, and he hit, it was a dealer, and he hit like a couple rear view mirrors, and he realized it was time not to drive anymore.
Oh.
I mean, there's so many stories out there. And you can either give up or you can do what Nancy has done. And I'm on board with what Nancy has done.
has.
We need to find a way to do this.
Yeah.
But is it diet also?
Well, it is diet.
Okay.
Of course it's diet.
Okay.
Yes.
Was that the biggest thing, the diet?
No, I think it was a combination of all kinds of things.
Okay.
I think attitude.
Well, attitude is the biggest
I mean,
thing. If I can do
you
it.
have it, and maybe some people don't have a choice.
Yeah.
On the attitude, maybe they're farther along, and let's talk about the fact that some people think they might have a problem, and they're working through problems.
Sure.
And they don't want to go check, and when they go, they find out it's something totally different, and they've wasted all that time
And angst.
and angst over something they don't even have. So that's not good.
No.
It really, early diagnosis is really a beginning to finding out.
Sure.
And when you find out and they say you have this, then you can turn around, take a deep breath, and look at the fear that you're feeling and dive in.
That's the most important thing of all.
And just
don't
dive
be
in.
afraid. Just do it.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And say, I can make this work. Yeah. Wow. I mean, your story is just amazing.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have probably done it better and faster or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
there are people out there that have fought that. I didn't ingest the diagnosis, the title. I don't like titles very much.
No, I don't either. No.
Yeah. So it can be done in a different way. That's what Dangle and Dot do.
Yeah.
We talk about it it's uncomfortable sometimes.
Very, and scary, and
And
all
so, of
those
course.
tough resistance type of emotions. Right?
Absolutely.
But if you can laugh a little bit each day, if you can learn to laugh at yourself, and in some cases we have to learn to laugh at
Well, of
ourselves,
course.
right?
Yeah.
Because because we don't like it, and it's embarrassing when you
Yeah.
forget things, and when you're still working, and I forgot somebody's name. People don't like that, and I was in a sales business. People don't like that. They don't have much regard for it. They don't know.
But they don't know what's going on in your...
and they don't know, right?
No.
Yeah. So there's just a lot of things that go. We're just saying, hey, there is a way to just sort of get yourself up over the hump,
That's right.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it takes accepting there are changes, right? And that we're going to have to probably make changes.
Workarounds.
Right. And the resistance to it was going to be this way as we grew older
Right.
might have to shift.
Yes.
And Nancy realized she had to give up her job, her insurance sales job.
You were in insurance? For how many years?
I was in insurance. I was with the airlines for almost 30 years, and then
Were you a
was
flight
at
attendant, or-
I was in the later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
On a
Yeah.
flight for 9/11, but that's a whole nother story. Out of
That's
New
a-
York.
Oh, hey, remember this.
Okay.
We're going to talk about this later in our series.
Yeah, that's a good story.
That is a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I forgot our topic. What were we just saying?
About the insurance business.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
yeah.
we were
So what happened was, I started hearing from people that they'd call me. I had spent hours with them, right? Maybe the day before, and they'd call and say, Nancy, we talked yesterday about XYZ.
You couldn't remember.
I could not remember.
But you probably could remember 40 years ago, but not yesterday.
Yeah. So I finally had to take a look at that. So then I started taking notes, copious notes, right? And that wasn't working out so well. And then I started always going with someone. And then I said, if I had somebody that was selling me insurance and they weren't up to 100%, would I really want to be buying from them?
Yeah.
That had to be the toughest thing.
Yeah. And brave.
And yes. I mean, you're very brave to do what you did.
Well, and I think we talked about it last time.
Yeah.
Once I got that diagnosis, within 24 hours, I was waking up every morning between 3 and 5 a.m. and words were just plummeting down, and I was writing and writing and writing, and they were words from sky above. So who's up there?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, God must have been looking down at you.
Yes.
It
Gave
was a
you-
God wink, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And those words that came, kind of like journaling, if you've ever journaled,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And those words. And so I made poems from the words that came down. And those were words that I followed. That was how I was feeling in the day. Those were messages that I put into book form. And I couldn't write chapters, but I could write verses, short, sweet,
Yeah.
sometimes
Well,
not
we
so
need
sweet.
to tell it. Okay, your book is, what is it called?
Blue River Apple.
Blue River Apple. Okay. And how would people get this book if they wanted to get it?
Well, you can get it through our website,
Okay.
dangle.com.
Okay. All right. Dangle.com. Okay. DANGLEDOT.
and then the dot com.
That's
Yeah.
simple. Dangle.com.
.com.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So you make it easy, don't you?
Yes.
But you
So
tell-
we have 3 books that I
Okay.
wrote. The first one, then Second Harvest and Third Harvest.
Okay.
And then we wrote a book that Daring to Do Dementia Differently. And
Wow.
that is
Yes.
our story of
Okay.
how the two of us came together and how we partner in a way that brings dignity and help and support to each of us, because caregivers, I don't know what we'd do without them.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's true.
And-
Most people have no idea
No.
what they go through.
No.
No.
I just did it for 2 years, and I
Yeah.
was like at the end of my rope.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. My
So-
brother went home.
So
Yeah,
you
back
can
to
get that book
Pennsylvania.
there too.
Okay.
Yes, and that book, we really went into it it was what we wish we knew at the beginning.
Yes.
It was the book that we both needed when Nancy got a diagnosis, when I was caring for my dad and didn't know what to do.
Okay.
And so we have this wisdom of all these years
and
later.
it's all in your books.
And it's a really nice, easy read, but it comes from two perspectives: what the care partner, family caregiver's feeling, what the person living with.
That's really important,
and
so
a great
people
list,
understand.
yeah, of resources we think that really lift you, right? Not to continue to tell you how bad it's going to
And
be,
bring you down.
in
Yeah.
a way, but helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's a good.
And take care of yourselves.
Yeah,
I mean,
learning.
yes. I mean, care people are so battered and torn and
That's true.
frustrated
That is true.
and
They really
sad
are.
and sick, and here we are over here not knowing any better.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, you don't notice because
And you don't mean to.
No,
Yeah.
no,
And
no.
then-
I agree.
yeah.
You don't realize
No.
Yes.
what the other person is feeling.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Nancy has been a champion, and that's why I felt like I want to share her with the world.
Oh,
like
yeah.
going on social media
I am
and
so glad you did.
everything, because she's such an inspiration
Well,
even to
yeah.
me. And then to be able to articulate what she's feeling, right,
yeah.
through her poetry and speaking, and what it feels like to receive a funny glance from
Yeah.
a friend.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've all had those, haven't we? Like,
Right.
is there anything you want to tell? No, I guess not. One of those type deals. huh? Yeah. Well, you need to bring your books in, because I'll have you back in 2 weeks for the next installment of our show, so we can show the books and that also.
Thank you.
And let's see if we can't get people out there to purchase the books and find out more, because to me this was like turning a light on when I
Aw.
talked to both of you.
Yeah. Good.
It's good.
Because nobody has the so far before I met you two, nobody really had the right answers.
Well, I'm not sure there are right answers. Are there? There's simply to be open to what is available.
Right.
Not get a diagnosis and be so closed off within that diagnosis.
Yes.
That and pills alter. So
They
I
do. They do alter. Yes.
I have. I say this cautiously, humbly. I've never taken any pills
Oh, really?
for Alzheimer's.
That's
And
good.
that was a choice in the very beginning that said, I don't know enough to make that kind of a decision. I'm not saying never. I'm just saying not
Well,
now.
see, that was smart. You wanted to really feel everything all the way through, didn't you?
So now watching and seeing and hearing and I don't think they have the answer yet.
No, I
That's
don't
little
think
old
they do
me saying.
either.
I think they're working hard. I know some people that
Yeah.
are working
And
really,
they're
really hard.
working extremely hard. But like when we say there's all these different types of dementia,
Yeah,
our
I mean-
medical system really isn't quite equipped to
No,
diagnose
no.
early on. So much we're getting better at that, but it's a complicated arena, and it's not as simple as how far we've come with like heart disease or somewhere else. So we want to look at your approach to there's something happening. Maybe our ways of relating are going to change. There's going to be change involved, but how will you approach that, right? Caregiver, how are you going to take care of you while you're trying to lovingly take care of somebody else?
True. That is so true. So literally, it's step by step on which you guys have gone through.
And honestly, people who've never done Alzheimer's disease before, and both physicians, we have a lot to learn. It's a brand new learning. It takes
It sure does,
practice.
yeah.
It takes trial and error. Oh, that
Absolutely.
really did not work.
Yeah.
That's true.
And it did not work in this instance at this time of day for this person.
Right.
We're not talking about what you might be going through because we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's how do
Everybody
we answer
has a
that? And how do
different-
the doctors answer that? I mean, so
What are some of the symptoms, of Alzheimer's? Like when you see people and they're acting different, give me an idea. What are some of the symptoms?
Well, some behavioral changes, if you notice, that can be certainly a sign. If you
Yes.
notice somebody acting differently or more, frustration, or
Yes.
if you know somebody really well and
Yes.
that is changing. Word finding is one
They
of
can't
the
find the
first.
words to say what
Always,
they want.
there's might be what we call word salad going
That's it.
on, right?
That's
You're can't come up with, this thing that I have coffee in. You go
Yeah.
around it, but you
Yeah.
can't come up with mug
Yeah.
so quickly. But that's aging and
Yeah.
maybe an early sign. Navigation.
That's another one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, you put your keys down, can't remember where they are, normally aging.
Yeah.
You put the
Yeah.
keys in the freezer.
Because that was the last place you were at, or what?
Yeah, really have no recall of ever doing
Doing
that.
it.
And so sometimes, when you re-find your keys, you go, oh yeah,
that's
yeah,
where it
yeah,
is.
yeah. That was actually probably an attention thing. You had your mind on dinner, put your keys in an odd place. that
well,
kind of thing.
I find that you pick things up, like you pick a Kleenex up and you're holding it here,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Or so you've got your keys here, and you were going to take it to your purse, which is behind the desk, and something calls you to the kitchen,
And you forget what you were.
and you
Yeah, the
let go
focus.
of it, and you don't remember where it was.
Yeah. I think the
believe you.
Alzheimer's Association, Alzheimer's Association has a really good brief description of what's normal aging
Okay.
and then what are more concerning signs.
Wow.
So I think that's a good reference.
This is just so amazing because there's so many parts to this.
Parts and pieces.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
it's very complex.
It is very complex.
Yes, and so, counting and the medical system does their part, but you really have to go way beyond.
Yeah, and that holding your hand out, so somebody else is going to make your life better, and we've all done it in a doctor's office, right?
Right.
But it is all of a sudden you need to look at it a little differently, because that alters whatever is going on, and so you really do need to try with the change diet, with the exercise, with the sociability. Get out there, say yes. She'll laugh at me all the time. I say yes, and then I'll say, 2 days later, what did I say yes to?
Where are we going?
Yeah.
And then to make yourself available. And
Sure.
again, it is a lot of a mindset, right? Like that
absolutely.
I decided to
Yeah.
be this way. I will note that there are some types of dementias or cognitive changes that affect somebody's initiative, also awareness that there is a problem.
Right.
There are
That's the
changes.
biggest thing,
and so
isn't it?
that requires perhaps a family care team or partner to start learning how to interact
Sure.
In a different way.
in a
Yeah.
different way, because you
Yeah.
might run up against a lot of resistance.
Oh, yeah. That's what I found.
Yeah.
I mean, it just shocked the heck out of me
Yeah.
how things completely changed.
And the
Yeah.
voice changed
Oh,
when
yes.
you react.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
One more question, and we're going to keep
Yes,
going with
okay,
our
no, we keep
series.
going.
But one more question.
Okay.
How did you get involved with Cleveland Clinic?
Well, fortunately, I had worked at the FDA out of school as a pharmacist. But
Oh, you're a pharmacist?
yeah, as a pharmacist, but I went into research as a pharmacist instead of, retail
That's-
pharmacy was not my thing.
Right.
I had worked at actually a drug company, and that got me interested in the regulatory drug development process.
Wow.
And I had worked with the FDA for about 8 years.
Uh-huh.
But meanwhile, I had lost 8 family members in total. I was having all...
8? Did you say 8? The number 8?
Yeah, as of now. So I was having all these family members dealing with this. So I was in the Alzheimer's part of the FDA, learned a lot there, but saw how far away we were.
We're still quite a ways away.
Yeah, we're further than we were, but we need a lot more.
Yeah.
I came to Vegas, took a mommy break, and then started volunteering at the Cleveland Clinic until they hired me.
Wow.
Yeah, and worked there for 10 years.
I'll bet you've met a lot of interesting people, haven't you?
I've been so inspired by that. Our time here with the Cleveland Clinic, being out in the community, hearing what people need, and seeing all the great work that is being done there.
Have you been to the Cleveland Clinic in Cleveland, Ohio?
I haven't, but
You haven't?
No.
I wasn't that far from it. I was from St. Mary's, Pennsylvania.
Nice.
So on 80, literally I was about 3.5 hours away. And a very good friend of mine and family member, he was on the board, Don Fleming. And without a doubt, Cleveland Clinic is just
Yes.
tops in my book. It
Yes.
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the fact that they have it here is such a godsend to Las
Such a
Vegas.
godsend.
Yes.
It is such a godsend, and the care there, and the
Well,
peop-
Lou Ruvo Center is what that is,
Yes,
right?
yeah. And
His father had.
his father and he saw what it did to his mom, trying to care for him.
Oh, yeah, that's a big deal.
So the caregiver services there are a priority.
Uh-huh. So tell me a little bit about Cleveland Clinic, if you can.
Yes. So here at the Cleveland Clinic, they treat neurodegenerative diseases. So that means they don't treat stroke. They don't treat like a TBI. They treat the ones that they normally decline, okay, through a disease process. So there's types of Parkinson's, also Alzheimer's, and the other related dementias, and multiple sclerosis.
Wow.
Yes, and Huntington's disease.
Huntington's disease, too.
Yes.
Well, it looks like I'm going to do some reading about the Cleveland Clinic and Lou Ruvo.
And the story of how it came to be,
Yes,
why
please.
it came to be, the building, and
Was that his father's brain, they said, with the...
well, that
Yes
came,
and no.
Frank Gehry, I think rolled up a piece of paper,
Yeah.
and some ideas, and wanted to be wavy, but Larry Ruva was a master in having Frank Gehry build it, because Frank Gehry said, "My art will not be in the city of Las Vegas."
Oh, wow.
And Larry Ruva was a great negotiator and
Yes.
said, "Give me 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I have a story for you."
Yeah.
But the Huntington's disease came in because Frank Gehry and their family had some
Really?
family with Huntington's disease, so that was part of it.
Everybody, this is not unusual, because everybody, if you think about it, I want you today to think about something from our show. If you close your eyes, there's somebody in your family that has a problem.
Yeah.
And, this is a really, really important show, and I want questions, and I'd like to have a lot of feedback from our audience. I really would.
We love questions.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So you know what, ladies? Our time goes by so
Too
quickly.
fast.
It does.
No.
But we're going to recontinue this in 2 weeks. So be sure to tune in, have your questions ready, send them over to us, and we'll be sure and answer them. That's our show for today. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Dangle and Dot.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So grab your headphones, let the journey start with Suzy's Vegas tales. She's stealing the heart in the city of dreams. Let's laugh and play Suzy's Las Vegas podcast. Come join the sway.